Hey, bam, it's another day here at the Quick Speed Shop. If you watched last time, I was working on the 37 Ford. I finished the exhaust system. I pulled the radiator out to get it record. So I'm waiting for parts on that. See, the radiator is still out. It should be back here this week. So I can get that put in, get the coolant going. The exhaust system is done. I think today we're going to do a bunch of vehicle moving around and maintenance. But first I'm going to go down to the pole barn. I've got some cars. I got to get my dad's Buick fired up. Need to check the oil and stuff like that. Pull that out. I got a whole bunch of junk that I just threw in there over the winter. I want to put up in the storage area. I've got my Model A Coupe down there, which has like been derelict for at least a year. Broken suspension, leaking engine, a bunch of other things. I want to maybe move that around, get it fired up, maybe bring it up here and see if I can start fixing on that a little bit so I can drive it a little bit this summer. I plan on pulling the 4-cylinder Mustang motor out of it this winter and putting a 59 AB flathead in it, making it more completely old school flathead action. So we'll take a look at that. So let's go down to the pole barn. We'll check out what's happening down there. My goodness, it's an absolute disaster in here. It's an absolute disaster in here. I just been slamming things in here, I got some tool cabinets here I picked up that were going to get thrown away. Got all kinds of stuff. Got some transmissions from swap meets, carts, doors I was rearranging. Everything's a disaster. My friend Brandon gave me this awesome Napa cabinet here. Pretty cool. Had starter parts in it. It's going to go kind of like I got this tune-up cabinet here and champion cabinet. I got another Napa cabinet over there. So I'll hang that up somewhere. Got my Studebaker truck here. Here's the wheels that took off the Model A truck a couple of videos ago. Swapped off the tires on the back of this truck. Careful. Put some, actually the tires are on the back of the Model A or on the back of the Studebaker now. Mercury's over here chilling. Really haven't done anything with that since the alternator timing debacle. Just kind of parked that back over here. Got my dad's car uncovered here. Oh, great. The wind's blowing like 100 freaking miles an hour. Disrupting all my action here. Anyways. I was getting this thing out. Just uncovered it. It's a 400 small block Chevy. I checked the oil. The oil's like 1.5 quarts. About 1 quart low over there. That's it. Below the ad line. This thing's got a 400. It's got about 30,000 miles on it. But it's, my dad ran Mobil 1 oil in it for a while, which I'm not a fan of putting synthetic oil in older like style engines. I like to run 1540 in it. And actually I've been putting Penn, what do you call it, the Penn grade racing oil, the green oil in there. I've been putting Brad Penn, used to be Brad Penn. I've been putting that in here. I think the problem with this car is it's got, I think, 373 gears in it, and it goes down the road like you're doing 70. It's turning 3,200 RPM, which I think is way too much for a 400 small block Chevy for an extended period of time. And the car's gonna run like 30,000 miles that way, and I think it's worn, so it's using oil. Because this is the only engine I got. Even my clapped out 283 in my Model A truck, which has blow-by and leaks, doesn't go through the amount of oil this thing does. This thing goes through quite a bit of oil, and I put maybe 1,000 miles a year on it, and I've had to put oil in it a couple times. So it's using a lot of oil and it doesn't really leak that much. It's got a couple tiny leaks, but not enough to justify, being 1 quart low. So I think the engine's a little tired from the high RPM. I plan on maybe this winter jacking it up, pulling the rear end out. It's got a Posi 10 bolt under it out of a Firebird or a Camaro. I think I'm gonna take that out, try to get the lowest numerical gear set that'll fit the carrier put in it, like probably 308s, I guess. This has got a turbo 350 tranny, so there's no overdrive. So I think with the tires are on it, I'm pretty sure it's 373s. It's spending way too much RPM on the highway. So I want to get like 308s in it. I'd put 273s in if I could get it down that far, but I don't think you can do that without changing the carrier over, which I don't have a spare carrier. Get new gears put in it, knock it down to like maybe 2,800 RPM at 70, which would be a help. I don't really have the budget to swap in overdrive transmissions, you know, like a, I would put a 204R in it from like gear vendors. If I did that, then it would fit where the Turbo 350 is, have overdrive, have a lockup converter. But they're, you know, $3,000 for a good transmission, and I can change the gears for probably 600. So I'm gonna probably do that. But in the meantime, I gotta put some oil in it. I'm gonna fire it up and back it out because I want to get up to my storage area up here that I built. There's my AMC Eagle kind of buried in here, and various, I guess this is the American Motors section. I got some Jeep tires, got an AMC 258, got a Camaro T5. So I want to get this yellow car out of the way so I can put a bunch of crap up here. Behind me I got the Model A Coupe. I haven't hardly driven this thing at all. It's got a almost broken off shock mount in the back on the right rear. I got to fix that. The engine is a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder Mustang motor here, which is super tired. It's got almost no oil pressure at idle. It's developed a huge oil leak in the back, which I can't figure out where it's coming from. I made sure I got a good breather path. It's got the good rubber Felpro gasket on the valve cover. That doesn't appear to be leaking. I don't know. I can't figure it out, but it leaks quite a bit out the back now. It also leaks coolant out the front. The electric fan quit. It's got a whole bunch of problems. The alternator belt squeals a lot. And I should be driving this car because with gas prices where it is, this car gets like 21, 22 miles a gallon. And by far it would be the most fuel efficient vehicle I own. So I should be driving it every day. But it's got such a host of issues with it. I've got to do quite a bit to fix it. So I might get this fired up and drag it out. At least fix the shock mount. Got to change the electric fan because it's too hot to run it without a fan now. I can deal with the engine leaking for now, but I have a 59 AB flathead that I want to drop in it, make this thing completely old school. I'll probably use an adapter and keep my 5-speed and my open open drive at 3840 axle. I'll probably keep all that stuff and just swap in the flathead. I'll have to get a new radiator. I'll probably have to trim the firewall a little bit, do a bunch of other stuff, and put a flathead in it, and it'll be more of a, it'll still be a good cruiser, but it'll be completely old school. The only thing that's not old on this car is the engine. So I think I'm going to do that probably later this winter, later winter into spring. Do a flathead swap project now that I'm all dialed in on the flatheads with the 37 Ford. I just want to take a second to talk about these tires. This is amazing. These are Goodyear Wrangler ATSs. ATS, it's an old style pattern they don't make anymore. Believe it or not, I've been driving on these tires for 21 years. These tires are brand new when I started working full-time. In 2002, they were on my 89 Chevy work truck I had. Ran them around work for a while. And that truck got wrecked in 03. Got in an accident and totaled it. So the truck sat at my work for probably a year outside, just derelict outside the building. And then one of the other guys who worked there, he took the tires off the back of the truck, these tires, and he put them on like an 88 or 89 Chevy Caprice sedan he had. And he ran them for like a year. And then that car was junk. I ended up buying it for scrap from him, and I saved the tires. Then I took these, and I put them on this truck for a little bit, maybe 1,000 miles or so. Took them back off this truck. This is 2006. I put them on my Model A hot rod shop truck in the first iteration when it was like open fender or no fender, kind of like rat roddy truck. I ran these things for probably 20,000 miles on that truck until I went to the tires that are on the back of it now. So I took them off that. I put them back on here. I ran them on the Studebaker truck for another few thousand miles, and then I just finally took them off because they are treads getting down there. They're starting to dry rot. But these are really good. I probably put, I don't know, close to 50,000 miles on these things, at least 45. And I'm not getting rid of them yet. I'm saving them for posterity. But right here, you got the date code from 01, 45th week of 2001, right there. 21-year-old Goodyear Wranglers, best tires I ever had. And yeah. So retiring them, but they're going to go on to, I'll put them on some display rims and use them for rollers or whatever around here. But just wanted to share that. Thought that was kind of interesting that we got 21 years out of those tires on like 5 different vehicles. It was awesome. Alright, got the oil in it. Let's give her a go and see if she'll fire. Well, we got a problem. I clicked the battery on like 2 weeks ago because I was going to move it, then I saw it was low in oil. Apparently I didn't shut the battery off, and it must have an electrical draw or something because the gauge is showing 9 volts on the battery. Great. So it looks like I got to put the charger on it for a little bit before she'll fire. And the battery is underneath the car on the passenger side. It's a real chore to get to. Got to climb under there, put the charger on it. Son of a gun. Okay, I've been charging for like an hour or so. Let's see if it's got enough juice to fire up here. Where's my key? Here it is. The fortunate part is it takes a lot of pumping and when it's cold. Yeah, we got 12 volts. Here we go. This thing doesn't have a choke. That's one thing I gotta dress on too. It makes it hard to start. Here we go. We're getting there now. So it is leaking some oil, a little bit there. I think that's the rear main seal. It's not leaking like the 1.5 quart that it was down for the amount that I've driven it. I think it's got some, just the engine is worn and it's using some oil. I got the 1040 brad pen in there, but for years the thing had Mobil 1 complete full synthetic in it, and I switched it back over to regular conventional oil with the dinosaurs in it, the red and the brad pen, or I'll run 1540 Rotella in it. But yeah, once it's started right up, it runs good. Always runs good. So I think I'm going to take this out cruising day. It's Father's Day today, actually, and take the car out, cruise around with it for a little bit, get it dialed in. I'll check the air pressure and stuff, but I'll let it run out there and charge up the battery for a little bit. As you can see down here, I've got my lift I want to put up. This is a 9,000 pound rotary lift, 9,000 pound rotary lift. That's going to go on the other side. I pulled these out of the Catskill down in Newburgh, New York. Went down there, I did a video on that a while ago, but I saved the 9,000 pound for me. So I'm going to get this up, and this will be handy to use you know, getting cars up in the air so I can work on the ground. I got to pull the transmission out of the 40 Mercury. Got to pull the transmission out of my 77 Ford truck and take the cab off my Dodge truck project. So I'm gonna get this up real soon. I laid out a spot over here. On this side, there's gonna be this bay here. You'll drive in and lift up here. So I made the floor a little extra thicker here. It's probably 6 inches thick in this section. So I'm gonna put the lift here on this bay. So you'd come in this way where the Mercury is. You'd pull in, and then you would pull through to the second bay because it's 2 cars deep, and then I can pick it up here. And in the winter time, I'll be able to store cars up in the air there and park another one underneath it. Right now, I've got like a catch-all, but I've got to get this dialed in and sorted out and flop the lift up and get it going because I want to use it for some projects here. All right, well, I took the L car to lunch, and I got some things put away up in the storage area up there, those Jeep doors and the extra things for the pallet rack. I'm going to go ahead and see if this Coupe starts. I'm going to guess the battery might be a little low, but we'll try it right now and see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? Let's try it. Only got like 11 volts, I doubt it. Dang it. I got a used battery in this, and it goes down charge over the winter even though it's disconnected or shut off, it still goes down. Then put the charger on it for a little bit and then we'll see if it'll fire up. Let's try it again here. Put a little bit of charge in her. Let's see. The charger was down. The charger was down, like it didn't put that much in it, but obviously she's not going. So that's another problem with this. I had an intermittent start issue like that with the starter too. The cables are good. The battery I think is marginal to good. It's got a new starter solenoid. The starter's new. That's another one of the issues I had with this thing is once in a while it would do this, and this is probably just from sitting for almost a year. I looked at the odometer from the inspection sticker. I only put 60 miles on this car last year, which is nothing. I got almost 7,000 miles I put on this car since I put it together. So I used to drive it quite a bit, but then I started having all these troubles with the engine. This is actually the second engine. The first 2.3 I put in it had some kind of rattle in it and no oil pressure, so I swapped in this one. This is an 89 Mustang motor. Took the fuel injection off, put the Holley 2-barrel on it with like a 79 intake, and it runs good power, but it's got like no oil pressure, and the oil pressure started like at 50, and it's slowly worked down to like now it's like barely above 20 at speed, and it's like nothing at idle, and like I said, it's leaking coolant out the front, it's leaking oil like mad out the back. So I really want to put the flathead in here and have it be a full traditional style hot rod. Alright, mowed the lawn here for like an hour and a half. Let's give her one more go and see if she'll go. And then if not, I gotta bag it for tonight. Let's try it out again. Here we go. He's a little cold-blooded, not too bad. 42 to 47 Buick taillights, very hard to find. Took me almost like a year to find them. Purring like a kitten. See, the oil pressure is pretty low. It's down to barely above 30. Then when it gets warm, it goes down to like 10 at idle. Proud of being dumb. This thing runs pretty good. If I fix the electric fan, fix the broken shock trailing arm mount, put an electric fan in it, I can at least drive it. I mean, aside for having no oil pressure, the 4-banger runs pretty good. Yeah, I think I'll dig it out here one of these videos. Not this one, but probably the next week or two I'll dig it out. I'll weld up the rear end. I'll fix that. Put some oil in it, put some coolant in it, and just start driving it. What's the worst that's going to happen? And I can get good gas mileage with it. This is a good commuter car. Like I said, it gets 21, 22 miles a gallon. It's got a T5 in it with 378 rear end gears. So it goes down the road. The 2.3 gets good fuel economy. Like I said, it's it's probably 100 horsepower, which is plenty for this coupe to move down the road. It actually goes pretty good. It'll run down the road with the bias ply tires. It'll run 70 miles an hour all day long. Anything over that, the wind starts to push it around quite a bit because it's, you know, it's like a sheet of plywood going through the wind. But it's a fun car. It handles good. It stops good. It rides pretty good for being all traditional Ford stuff. It's actually a pretty good riding car, and it's a lot of fun. So I think I'm over the hump of being disgruntled with it. I'm going to dig it out in a future video, fix the fan, fix the shock mount, and start driving this thing again. And we'll have some fun with it. But that's it for today. I'm going to monkey around with this thing. You guys come back next time. We'll be doing some more cool stuff here at the Quick Speed Shop. And please tell your friends to subscribe, get the word out. Trying to get the views up on the videos. And hopefully I'll be putting out a ton more content with cool stuff, like all this stuff we did today. So appreciate everybody following along. It really helps me out. I really, you know, send a comment in and do whatever you got to do. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you again next time. Bam! Working on cool stuff here at the Quick Speed Shop. I'm a professional. Don't try this at home.